What is up, YouTube? It's a new day. Forgot to bring you guys yesterday. I was just so busy and it was time crunch. But yesterday, I picked myself up a new GC8. I know it doesn't look like much, but I think 93 WRX. And this is a parts car, so I'm gonna pretty much grab every part off this thing. I mostly need the engine from this car. This has a good engine, and I'm gonna put it in this car because this shell's a lot nicer. But I'm pretty much gonna gut this whole thing today and tomorrow and throw the shell in the garbage. Or if someone wants the shell, come pick it up. And I'm gonna part this thing out. I'm gonna take everything off it. So it has this red hood that's not from the car, but there she is. Engine runs. Got the nice Thule, if that's how you say it, roof rack. There's some okay parts on it. Got it for a deal, but hopefully it gets me closer to having this thing done. So this is the 95 STI. This is a little bit newer than that one. But I guess we'll get to work. I'm gonna have to play Tetris on the driveway because the driveway is not looking too good right now. We just got cars and cars, and I want to bring the Evo in the garage, hopefully in here, by the end of the week. Because I think I'm gonna put the shell over there because hopefully this weekend I'll get it picked up and it'll just be a shell. Also forgot to mention, if you guys noticed that I've been filming on the iPhone, my camera kind of shit the bed and I've been having so many problems with it, so decided I want to start trying to film on my iPhone. Problem is with that, it just takes a lot of storage. I'm going 4K 60 on this, so it takes a lot of storage. But got the pressure washer out, gonna clean this thing, so when I pull the motor and all this stuff, I'm not gonna get that dirty. I think that's the key to staying, is cleaning whatever you're working on first and degreasing it so your hands aren't messed up at the end of the day. So let's get started. So I just got this degrease and pressure washed the whole car. Pretty much, I think I'm gonna start pulling body panels off it first before I do the motor, just to wait for my friend, because I wanted to compression test this motor before I pulled it out. And then once I do that, I'll pull the motor. It should be really easy. And then start taking panels off this thing. The roof rack needs to come off. The wheels, the coilovers, everything needs to come off. So I haven't picked up the phone in probably an hour or two. I got a lot of stuff done. I need to organize all this stuff and put them in boxes, like interior. But I almost got the whole rear end out. The bumper off, the seats, the whole rear end's off, tail lights, trunk, except for the hinges. These need to come off. The back deck lid needs to come off. The seat belts and all the interior trim. I think I'm going to keep the front doors in for now because I want to be able to drive it somewhat, just to move it in case. But then when I'm done with that and the motor comes out, I should be able to take out all the driveline and this will be a bare shell. I think I'm on hour 2. And yeah, the more annoying part was just the rust on the bumper, so those bolts weren't coming off. But yeah, staying organized is key, and having a bolt bin. I got myself a bolt bin. All the bolts are in here. But yeah, the reason why this shell's donezo, I mean, this is fixable, but it's probably not worth it. So I'm gonna gut it and take the exhaust off and then all the drive line from under it. Okay, it's probably like 9:30 right now. I probably spent like, I don't know, 2-3 hours on it. This is how it is right now. Pretty much got all of it out. Tomorrow I need to take out the carpet, the dash, and that door, and then all of the interior should be gutted, and the harness. And then tomorrow, if I have time, I'm gonna compression test this motor before taking it out, and then I'll take it out and prep it. I'll probably have to spend a full day prepping it to put it in this car. So I'll put it on the stand, prep it. I'm gonna make it nice. I'm gonna try to zinc and powder coat or paint brackets, the manifold. I'm gonna make it really nice. So once the engine's out, I'm gonna put this car on jack stands. Once this car is out, once I pull this car out, I'm gonna put the Evo in there. So yeah, and then once the Evo goes in the garage, I'm going to put this shell in that corner and then hopefully get it picked up this weekend so it's not just sitting on my driveway taking up space. But yeah, it's getting late. I need to eat. see you guys tomorrow. What is up? It is a new day. I started working on the car for a bit. I've been on and off because it's been raining and it's not that nice out. But when I do to the car, I want to keep the engine in because I want to compression test it before I pull it out. But I pretty much pulled everything off, the downpipe, engine mounts, everything. I'm just want to hook it up to compression test it before I pull it out. And this thing should come out in, I would say, like literally after I compression test it, like 20-30 minutes. Got a bunch of parts, got the downpipe off. It's actually a really nice downpipe. I'm pretty sure it's an NVIDIA downpipe. Like, that's a beefy 3-inch downpipe. That's for some flow. That's probably one of the nicest GC8 downpipes I've ever seen. And I think it might be a GD, the newer version GC8s, and they're a bit longer, so it makes the tip stick out a little bit more. So I'm gonna also pull this exhaust off. Pull the exhaust off, and then that'll be pretty much everything once I get the motor out. And then put the motor on the stand right here, clean it up, make it look pretty. I'm gonna spend probably at least a day to pretty it up, clean it, degrease it, paint stuff. And then I will put it in this car. Probably gonna have to roll this out. What is up, everybody? So yesterday I did not film. It was a busy day. I was trying to get as much stuff as done. But yesterday I compression tested the motor, took it out, put that car in there, took this car out, cleaned up a bunch of stuff. I was pressure washing, cleaning, degreasing, and haven't picked up the phone till now. But sorry for not updating you guys yesterday. I got the engine on the stand, took everything apart, and I'm gonna clean, restore everything before I put it back on. I'm gonna put most of this engine stuff on here. But the reason why I pulled the phone out is because I compression tested this motor and it was fine. But as I was looking at the timing, the crank gear has some wobble to it. And that is no good. That is not good at all. The woodruff key is smashed up and this gear won't come out, so I need to make sure the crank is still good on this. If it's not, then probably gonna have to take the crank from this. I think this key got busted when they put the new balancer on that, and they didn't put it on right. The previous owner, because he was having balancer issues, and I think he just pretty much just impacted it on and didn't even know that there was a woodruff key in there. But yeah, that's how my day is going. I wanted to get the engine assembled today, but what's gonna take me the most time is whether I'm gonna run this manifold and clean it up and keep it silver, or run this manifold, clean it up and paint it wrinkle black or black. Reason why I'm not gonna do red is because I have all the intake hoses from the old car. The sand hoses are green, so I don't think red and green would look good. So I'm thinking wrinkle black or the silver, but I don't have a sandblasting cabinet to make this mint, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna have to paint that one. But yeah, that's how my day's going. I'm gonna have to figure out how to take this crank pulley off, because that woodruff is fucked. Hopefully the crank is not fucked. I'm begging, because then I'm gonna have to take the crank from this, or just use this engine and slap these heads on there, so I don't need to split the case on that. So I guess we'll see. What is up? So today I'm gonna be regasketing in this whole engine. Got my brand new gasket kit there. Before I put the timing components on, I'm gonna pull the valve covers and do those gaskets, because the covers go above these cam seals. So I want to change those cam seals before I put the timing covers on. So I want to get this engine pretty much complete today. I think the longest part is literally just going to be painting the manifold and painting all the brackets and cleaning and degreasing a bunch of stuff. But I have this bin full of the parts, brackets, manifold. I think I'm going to paint the manifold wrinkle black. Hear me out. The reason why I want to do wrinkle black is because all the hoses are green. All the Samco hoses are green. And I think that wrinkle black will look decent. If the hoses were black or anything else, I do wrinkle red, even though this engine didn't come factory wrinkle red. The newer STIs did. The older STIs always came with this finish. So I guess I'll put you guys on a stand and I'll get to work so I get her done. So, upon further inspection, took the cam caps off. Whoever put this engine together before used a lot of RTB on this. You don't really need that much, but gonna change the cam seals. I'm not gonna take the cams off, they're fine. But after I change cam seals, gonna clean up the surface and then put the valve covers back on with the new gaskets, fresh up the top. The top's gonna be fresh, new RTB, just a dab here, not too much, because this is what happens when you put too much. It can go in the engine, like literally like this. Like, look at that. Almost dropping it in there. But yeah, I dropped that one in there. Update, I got this head completely done. New gasket, new cam seals. Just gotta toss the spark plugs in and the coil packs. And then I'll start getting on with the other head. Things with Subarus is there's almost double the work because two of everything, two heads, 4 cams instead of 2 cams. I'm just taking my time just to make sure this thing doesn't leak. I really don't want this thing to leak, so new gaskets everywhere. Honestly, if I had more time and budget, I would probably zinc everything and refinish everything, but I'm doing the best I can. I would honestly sandblast this valve cover, paint it, Cerakote it, whatever. But I'm trying to stick to a budget, and if I was gonna keep this motor forever, I would. But I'm just doing the best that I can. You know, cleaning it up a bit. And I also don't have time to be painting stuff and zinc coating stuff. So maybe on the next project I will. Probably on the Evo is what I'm gonna be doing. I haven't updated you guys on the Evo, but I'm just trying to get this engine done so I can put it in this car and get it running. So I'm gonna take a little break, get myself a nice coffee, and let's go. So I got both valve covers done. I wasn't gonna take off the oil pan, but I landed up doing it because I was like, might as well change the gasket, silicone. And then it kind of just escalated, so I got the oil pan off. I scraped all the silicone with this brass wire wheel because if you know what I mean, you know how much of a pain and how long it takes. But, oh no. My cover for my oil pan, I painted some black just to freshen it up. Like, I'm not making it perfect. I just gave it a quick scuff, painted it black. I'm gonna re-silicone it, put the oil pan on, and then after I'm done the oil pan, I'm gonna do everything under the engine. So I'm gonna put the engine mounts, the exhaust manifold, and the new gaskets. And then once I'm done at the bottom, I'll go ahead and go at the top on the intake side. But I think it's gonna take me a while because I need to go get paint. I need to go to Canadian Tire, get wrinkled black for this. That's off this car. This silver is off that car. So I don't think I like the green. I'm definitely gonna change it. Yeah, so most of the time that I'm spending is literally cleaning things up and making it nice and pretty and presentable, and you know, just taking my time, not really rushing into it. Okay, taking a little break. I got the oil pan on. I kind of messed up because the paint wasn't dry and I touched it, so it's not perfect, but it's better than it was before. Next, I think I'm gonna clean up these surfaces, get the gaskets on there and put the exhaust manifold and the covers, and then the up pipe and probably the turbo. I gotta pick what turbo I'm gonna run, whether I use the TD05 from that car or that car. I'm not sure if the turbos are different. I'll have to look at the codes. I'm pretty sure that's a TD05, but also I have another one over here, TD05 as well. So if they're the same, I'll just pick the cleanest one, clean them up, put them on with new gaskets, and then everything on the bottom of the motor should be good. And then after, I'm gonna start tackling the timing. So I'm gonna put the rear covers on, new gaskets, pulleys, blah, 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 blah. And then the timing, and then the timing covers can go on. So pretty much after the timing covers go on, I think the only thing I'm gonna have to do is paint this manifold. So it's probably gonna take me the longest to strip this, sand it, and paint it. Once that's painted, I'll have to do all the brackets. I'm not sure whether I want to do the AC bracket black or aluminum like that. The power steering, And then once all of that's good, the only seal I haven't changed because it's on the stand is the rear main. Put the clutch on, and yeah, pretty much I'll have a fully assembled long block. What is up? Boys, the next day, last night. Don't think I filmed it, but I finished the timing. I put the covers back on. I was gonna paint them black, but I don't know if you guys can see, they're not perfect. I was gonna paint them black, but then I realized I might just go buy a Cerakote trim coat to get it back to plastic. I'm just trying to make it as nice as I can. I also messed up on not painting this because the bolt was stripped and I didn't think you were gonna see it, but you obviously see it. The top is black though, the side's black, it's okay. But what I did this morning, I gutted the manifold, all the injectors, throttle body, and stuff. It used to look like that. So what I'm gonna do is, I wish I had a compressor strong enough to sandblast this, but I'm probably gonna have to just sand it by hand, scuff up the paint. I would take this to raw bare metal and then do it, but I also have to run to Canadian Tire to get the wrinkle black paint because that's going to wrinkle black. And then after I put the manifold on, I don't think I'll be able to put the turbo on today because the bolts are stripped. So I need to unstrip those bolts for the turbo. But the manifold should go on today, and then the alternator and power steering. I don't know what power steering pump I'm gonna run, whether this one or the other one. But I'm just gonna clean those up, and then pretty much it'll be almost done. And then the only really seal I have left is the rear main, and then I can put the clutch on. And once the turbo's on, this thing's going on. So the only thing I'm going to be held back today is by that down pipe on the turbo. I just got to run to Canadian Tire, get the black wrinkle paint. Once all that's on, hopefully by tonight or tomorrow, I'll get it put in my car. Okay, so I knew this was going to be shitty, but I got my sandblaster here. Went on the side of the house to not make a mess. There's a bunch of sand everywhere. But the shitty part is that my compressor is so small and I only have, I don't know, 20 seconds to do it, and I have to wait for it to reload. But now that I've done it, I think I'm just gonna do the whole thing and then see if I like that look, and if not, I'll go buy black wrinkle. So, update, I went to Canadian Tire, got some paint. You know, honestly, like, I might have to just invest in a powder coating setup. It'd be kind of cool if I could powder coat in-house instead of outsourcing. But got myself some wrinkle black. We're on a budget. I sandblasted most of it, of my manifold, and then scuffed the rest. And then good way to do is you grab old bolts and then just thread them to all the holes you don't want paint in the threads to keep them clean. So those are just old bolts. Taped up all the stuff I don't want. Prep is pretty good. We're gonna see how this stuff lays down. I'm also gonna bake it because the wrinkle comes out so much better when you bake it. So it says put 3 layers on there, heavy layers, and then put on in the oven for an hour. So I guess I'll get painting. That is my second coat. So with the first coat, what you want to do is you want to go horizontal. So you go second coat, you go vertical, and then the third coat they say you want to go diagonal just to get the best wrinkle. Last time I did this, it turned out pretty good. It's all in the prep pretty much. Hopefully it comes out really good. I just realized I forgot to mask off one little knob. Whoopsies. So when I take it out of the oven, I'm gonna have to sand it off. But can't wait to get the manifold on tonight. It's getting late and I still haven't gone to the gym. So I finished painting the manifold. And now it's in my kitchen oven getting baked. Hopefully it doesn't stink up the house too much because it's gonna reek. Okay, so I took it out of the oven. Honestly, I don't remember when I did my last manifold red if the wrinkle was on it right from the oven. It says you have to let it cure for, I think, 24 hours. So hopefully it starts wrinkling more because there's definitely almost no wrinkle on it. So I guess we'll see. We'll just wait and see. Okay, after a long day, Take my time cleaning this. I sandblasted this. I was gonna paint it black, but I painted it black last time because the manifold wasn't black. But I cleaned up the power steering, painted this, cleaned up the bracket a bit, painted the pulley. I'm gonna wait till this cures, and then probably in like 3 hours, I'll start assembling the manifold with all this stuff and the injectors, harness, and actually fully bolted on. It's just mocked up right now, it's not even bolted on. But I'm gonna go to the gym, get a nice pump, and then by the time I get back in probably a couple hours, it should be dry enough to touch. I'm just letting it cure. It's wrinkled a bit more since I pulled it out of the oven. But pretty much need to wait more. Like, you literally need to give it like a full day before it's fully wrinkled. But it's wrinkled a bit more, as you can see. So hopefully I'm going to be satisfied with this result. And yeah, once the manifold's on, I'm almost pretty much... Once that's bolted on, the only two things I need to do is put the clutch on and rear main, and then the up pipe and the turbo. And then this thing is going to go in. So my goal is hopefully by tomorrow night, if I didn't have delays and stripped bolts, I could probably be able to put it in tonight. But just kind of taking my time, yeah. Making it look as pretty as I can with what I have and time. Honestly, like, I really wish I could go OCD on it and, you know, zinc every bolt, powder coat every bracket, and just make it really nice. But I'm just kind of, I guess, half-assing it. Okay, came back from the gym. I started taking the wiring harness apart. I just cleaned it up. You can see all the old loom, crusty loom. Cleaned it with some brake clean and a rag, and then retaped some of the areas that were crusty. It's honestly not bad for how old this is, but I think that's a lot better than it was. And this is what it kind of used to look like, kind of dirty. Got the manifold on the bench. Manifold's almost done. All I need to do is hook up this wiring harness under it and tuck it really nice, and then clean the mating surfaces on the heads and manifold, the new gaskets, and I should be bolting this manifold on for good tonight. I wasn't gonna do it tonight since it got late, but you know, tomorrow I want to focus on the accessories and then the turbo, and then this thing should be able to go on tomorrow afternoon, as long as I get the accessories. And I guess I can get the accessories on when in the car. But yeah, I'm excited. Okay guys, it's currently 11. I need to go to bed. I'm getting tired. But I pretty much finished everything on this engine but the turbo. Like, the manifold's fully on, harness is fully hooked up. I put the coil packs in. Only thing I'm missing is a cam sensor. I left it on the old heads and they're at the machine shop, so I need to go get that. I usually put this in the car, but I kind of just wanted to see it. I might take it off before I put this in the car so I can use this bracket to pick it up. I'm gonna delete evap. These are the evap lines. I'm not gonna run that. I got the coil packs on this side. Look at the manifold. I did sandblast the throttle body just a bit. I probably shouldn't have, because I think there's sand in here now. Yeah, what else? Yeah, everything, the harness is hooked up. I just need to figure out my catch can setup. This thing had a catch can before, but it wasn't really made nice. Like, it had this type of hose on it, and I did not really like it. So yeah, this is what it looks like. The manifold's almost fully cured. I'm actually really impressed with the manifold. It's, when you put it in the oven, the wrinkle is a lot tighter. So I'm really impressed. The only thing that I don't like from like this aspect is the cam covers. I want them more shiny black. And I think that's it. Maybe clean up the oil cap. I wish I could have got the fuel lines zinced when they pop out here. Like under, like you don't see it, so I wouldn't care. But maybe either paint these or zinc those. Wish I could have cleaned up the idle air, but you don't really see it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Just need to set up the catch can setup, put the clutch on, the turbo, and this thing can go in. So if I can get all this stuff done tomorrow, then this thing is going in the car tomorrow. So I'm excited. I'm tired. Putting sweat and tears in this just to make it look nice, right? Because I could have put all of this together with all the stuff I had on it before, but it wouldn't have looked this pretty. What is up, guys? It's been a long day. I finally finished it. I'm only missing one thing, and that is my cam sensor. It's at the machine shop. I need to go get it, but I pretty much have everything on this engine I need. I got the turbo on it. I was waiting for that up pipe. Thank God my buddy Scotty, shout out Scotty, hooked me up with an up pipe because I could not get this up pipe off for the life of me. I stripped all of them. They were really tight. And then I had to angle grind some brackets to take them off to hold the turbo up. But today I kind of cleaned up a bit. Like I painted the hot side of the turbo black, painted this black. I broke the safety pin out of the wastegate, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to safety that so it doesn't come off. I also painted my downpipe. This came out a lot nicer than I thought, actually. Got the nice Megan Racing downpipe. I think it's a little bit longer, so with the exhaust I have on the car, it's gonna stick out, I think 2 or 1 inch. I think an inch or 2 longer, so hopefully it doesn't look ugly, or else I'm gonna have to modify that. But yeah, I'm excited. I just need to put this on the hoist. I need to figure out where I'm gonna hook up the hoist to, and then put the clutch on. So I also have 2 clutches. This is from the STI, this is from the WRX. So I'm probably gonna use this flywheel with that clutch. Has a lot more life to it than the Zeddy. So yeah, I'm excited. The only thing I need to do when this thing is up is do the rear main, bolt the clutch up, and this thing's good to go. Okay, boys, it's currently Thursday. I thought I'd got the engine in by Wednesday, but last night I ran into a hiccup with the clutch. I figured that out this morning. As you can see, the engine's out. I made kind of a mess figuring out what I'm gonna do for the clutch, but I figured that out. I want to redo my catch can setup, so I might just do that in the car. Hopefully I don't regret it, but I prepped the car for taking its new engine. I got the release bearing. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. I put the release bearing on it, greased her up, jacked the car, put the car up on a ramp so it's a little elevated, so I can get the jack under there and jack up the trans. But yeah, this engine's about to go in. But I was kind of struggling putting the motor in. Sometimes it's really hard, sometimes it goes in first try. Today it was hard. It definitely helps when you're with someone to guide you and all that, but it's in. I bolted the starter up, kind of taking my time, bolted the downpipe up, downpipe's on. I kind of messed up here. I kind of wish I'd paid attention, but my mass job on the downpipe, not the greatest, but she'll do. So I'm gonna put on the belt, the power steering, everything on the front of the motor, hook up the harness, set up the catch can. That will probably take me the longest, and then hook up the coolant hoses, and then the rad will go in. I don't think I'm gonna put the AC compressor on right now. Maybe in the future. And then after that, it's pretty much done. Like, it's just cleaning up the battery, you know. Okay, guys, it's a new day. It's Friday. I've pretty much worked on this thing the whole week. But I have everything buttoned up. The longest thing that took me was setting up my catch can setup. Since I had to redo it from the start. And I was just trying to remember how I did on my old car. And I didn't really want to go buy some hoses and T-lines. So I just wanted to use what I had. So I made it work. I'm not going to run the AC for now just to get the car going. But once I get the car going and it runs fine, I'll put the AC compressor that goes here and the lines in the condenser. I'm going to only run distilled water for now because on a fresh build, if you have a leak and you have coolant in it, you're going to hate your life because you're just going to waste money. So I bought some distilled water this morning. Got 4 liters of it. I just got to add oil, add the top mount, put the top mount, set up the intake setup, and then my return for the catch can. And then once the intake setup's on, I have to set up the boost controller and all the vacuum lines. I'm going to clean it up and make sure I have everything. Maybe paint this bracket. That the car before was on a manual boost controller, so I'm probably going to have to put a boost gauge in it just to see how much boost he's pushing. But yeah, I just need to go buy some oil because I don't have oil, funny enough. And then hopefully clean the garage. And I also... the best piece, save it for last. Oh my god, the wind blew it off. But I got the bracket painted for the front. And it's gonna button it up together real nice. Okay, boys, I went and picked up some oil and a filter. Honestly, on these 20 Gs, I've always ran the Pennzoil 540. Does me great. But yeah, the only thing I need to do is hook up the battery, put the battery tray, tie down, put oil in it, coolant in it, and then I just need to figure out to plug this and route my return for my catch can and then plug this. And I think everything should be good. We will see. Wish me luck. About to start it. I'm going to start at open down pipe and let it run for a bit. And if that's too loud, then I'm going to go put the exhaust on. Yeah, this is it. All the fluids are in there. Power steering fluid, the oil, the new filter. There's 2 vacuum lines I haven't finished completed yet, but I just plugged them off so it wouldn't idle high. The battery is good. Coolant's bleeding. Let's crank her.
It's gonna be loud. Pipe.
That's loud. What is up, guys? It's been a couple days. I haven't picked up the phone a couple days just because I was busy trying to get this car registered and insured, but I got it registered and insured. I started driving the car a couple days, just, you know, testing, fixing little things, and that's the reason why I put water in the system, because I knew something. On these fresh builds, you're always going to have some hiccups. And my hiccup was she was leaking some oil after I started driving it. So I don't think it's the oil pan. I'm going to go ahead and try to do it with the motor in the car. I could have easily just pulled the motor out and fix the leak, but I think it's coming from where the oil pump is and the front main seal, maybe the cam seals. So I'm just gonna pull the rat out, pull all this stuff in the front, pull the covers and see where the leak's coming from. It was leaking a lot. Hopefully it's not the oil pan, because if it's the oil pan, I'm probably just gonna have to pull the motor. I'm gonna see if I can do it with it in the car. It was leaking quite a bit. That's what with these old builds, you're always gonna have hiccups like this. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get this fixed. hopefully I can get it done today and I don't need to buy a new seal. One of the seals that I did not replace is the oil filter seal, which is this one. This seal I didn't replace, but I guess once I pull the covers off, it'll show me where the leak's coming from. Okay, update. I have everything off the front off, the rad, all that. And upon further inspection, she is wet. So I don't know if it's coming from the cam seals back there. I need to take off this cover. It's pretty wet in there. So I'm also looking at the power steering pump, and it is a little bit wet up here. So I don't know if it's because it's coming from up here or it's going down. I'm pretty sure it's coming from down, but I think the power steering pump is leaking as well as whatever is leaking back here. So once I get that off, I'll up to you guys. Okay, I found out what's leaking. Pretty sure it's the crank seal in the front here. Or it could be also where the oil pump connects to the block. So I think I'm gonna redo both. And then I'm gonna have to pull the timing off. And then hopefully these cam seals aren't leaking because I don't really want to change those. But look how wet that is. Not good. Hopefully it's only coming from here because I would hate to put all of this back together. And she's still leaking. Those cam seals look dry. I'll get a better look at the cam seals once I take off these gears. And then the timing, I guess I'm gonna have to redo timing, which kind of sucks, but I could have taken off the motor, but I don't know. I guess I'll just do it on the car. Okay, boys, it's been like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes. And I pretty much pulled this whole thing apart to realize that the front seal was rubbing on the crank pulley. It pretty much rubbed itself off. So I think it's leaking from there. And just to be extra sure this is the oil pump, I'm gonna pull this off and reseal it because it's not a gasket, it's RTB. So I'm gonna redo that, put a new seal there. And then I haven't pulled off the cam gears yet, but want to make sure those aren't leaking because I replaced these. These are all from the same kit. And probably why it's leaking is because it's not an OEM kit and it's an aftermarket seals kit. So it's probably why it's leaking. And I don't know why it weared itself off. It's really weird. Maybe I didn't push it in enough, but I'm pretty sure I pushed it far enough in there. So I guess we'll see. So I just pulled the oil pump right here. Oil pump is off. I should have taken it off when I redid the whole motor, but I didn't. I didn't think anything of it. But thank God I did. This thing was about to blow. These bolts were loose. They weren't even on. Look at this. I pulled it out like that. So those aren't supposed to be loose because the oil pump's in there. And if it's leaking in there and gets loose, then you'll lose oil pressure all over your engine. Okay, update. I had to go to Canadian Tire and grab some brake clean to clean some stuff off. But I got the new oil pan on. Not oil pan, oil pump. It's on. I just snugged it up with finger hand tight so I can crush the silicone. You can see I use the same silicone as the oil pan and it's not leaking. I also pulled my cam gears off and those seals are holding up. So those are the same kit. So hopefully that was the only leak. The only other thing that I haven't changed is the oil filter. There's a seal there in the oil filter housing that I can't take off because it's a big socket and I do not have the socket deep or big enough to go in there. But once that stuff dries off, put all the timing components back on, like all the gears, all this stuff, and then I brought brake clean so I can clean all of this oil up. So when all of this is clean and it leaks again, then I'll know exactly where it's coming from. So I just reused this seal. I didn't have time to replace it, but I reused this seal from the other engine. And yeah, I'm just gonna brake clean all of this. And I was scared that these cam seals were leaking, but they look dry. It's only wet around here because the belt was slinging the oil everywhere. And then hopefully my valve covers aren't leaking. But yeah, would you know, like the one thing I didn't touch seal wise on this engine is the thing that was leaking right here. And I like looked under the car. I'm like, oh, please don't be the oil pan, because if it was the oil pan, I was probably gonna have to take the engine out. And I've done that before twice. So I learned from my mistakes. I RTB'd it, clean it really good. Oil pan's not leaking, so I should. The most annoying part of all of this is putting the timing belt back. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. And yeah. Okay, boys, it's been 4 hours. My lower back's killing me. I've been leaning over this thing, but it took me a couple tries to get the timing. Honestly, if you're doing timing on a Subaru, buy the belt with the marks and buy the tools to hold these cam gears on. But I'm pretty sure I have the timing all sorted, so gonna double check, crank it over a couple times, double check the timing's good. Then I'm gonna clean all these covers and put it back together, and hopefully, cross my fingers, she doesn't leak oil anymore. Okay, guys, it's the next day from the last clip. I think I'm gonna end the series there. I'm pretty proud where I got the car now. Now all I need to do is really looks wise, like to fix the paint, polish it, and new wheels. Look at this, some jets up there. Not ordinary. Sweet. Anyways. It's about to rain. I'm pretty much finished the car. I cleaned it up. I'm getting new wheels hopefully this week, so I'll make another video after that. But I just wanted to update you guys on the health of the car. She's pretty much done how I wanted. Just finishing touches up, and I need to clean these coils and then put them on the car. But pretty much it's almost done. It's just looks wise now. So she runs good. It doesn't leak oil anymore since I fixed that oil pump. It's a little sweaty by the oil filter. Honestly, I might want to change that where the oil filter housing is, but I'm pretty satisfied with this. Only thing I want to do is delete this vacuum line better and then run one hose instead of two. That's the only mechanical thing I want to do in here. More so looks wise. I had a coolant leak down there yesterday. I fixed that. Pretty much satisfied with the bay. And then I'm ordering a boost controller so I can get, I actually have no idea how much boost she's pushing. Probably not a lot, not too much, but yeah, I forgot the boost issue. It's not even an issue, it runs good and boosts good, but I don't know how much boost she's pushing since it's not really hooked up to the stock boost controller. So I gotta figure that out. And then hopefully on an upcoming video this week, I'll have wheels for this. So I'm gonna get rid of these, I don't know if you can see that, WRX wheels. These are for sale too. And then I'm gonna be, once this project's done, I'm gonna be resuming on the Evo build. So yeah, wish me luck. See you guys later.